Recently, the Russian army has received new batches of T-90M and T-72B3M main battle tanks, which were delivered to frontline units from the Uralvagonzavod tank plant in the first week of May, and benefit from a number of capability improvements, reflecting lessons learned from high-intensity combat in the Ukrainian theater. New variants of the two tanks benefit from reinforced rooftop cage armor to provide physical protection against drones, loitering munitions, and top-attack anti-tank guided missiles, which have been used extensively by both sides against enemy armor. Both tank classes also benefit from electronic warfare antennas mounted at the front hull intended to intercept low-flying drone threats, which are suspected to be tied to anti-drone jammers, such as the Volnorez system. Following reports in August that T-90Ms were integrating the Arena-M active protection system, and subsequent reports that T-72s modernized with similar levels of armor protection were also to receive the system. New batches of the tanks have reportedly been delivered, with the Arena-M providing significantly greater survivability. The first footage of T-72 tanks deployed on the front lines equipped with the Arena-M system was publicized in March 2025. The Arena-M uses a radar system to continuously monitor the surrounding environment for incoming threats, and when detecting incoming projectiles, tracks them automatically, calculates their trajectories, and deploys protective munitions to intercept and destroy them before they impact the tank. It can reportedly intercept rockets, missiles, and high-explosive anti-tank shells, traveling at up to 1,000 meters per second, and can do so 50 meters away. Russian tanks previously integrated only the Shtora soft kill protection system, which could not actively engage incoming projectiles, but instead alerted the crew and helped tanks to mask themselves. Although Russia has been developing a hard kill active protection system since the 1990s, with multiple variants of the Arena system having been developed, a lack of funding resulted in these primarily being marketed for export. Although Russia has been well behind the Koreas, China and Israel in integrating hard-kill active protection systems onto its tanks, it has rapidly adopted advanced anti-drone countermeasures to respond to the continuous deliveries of tens of thousands of unmanned aircraft to Ukraine by countries across the Western world and by NATO member Turkey. Uralvagonzavod is the only one of 5 major Soviet tank factories that were operational in the 1980s, which still produces tanks, and may represent the largest tank plant in the world, with the sizes of rival Chinese and North Korean facilities remaining unknown. Orders for newly built T-90M tanks increased rapidly due to both losses of older tank classes in the Ukrainian theater, and to the increased tensions with an expanding NATO, which has placed further pressure on Russia's defenses. The tank's performance has received particularly high praise from senior Russian officials. The tank's two A-46 M5 125mm smoothbore gun and Kalina fire control system allow it to deploy the wide-range specialized munitions, some of which began to be seen in Ukraine in early 2023, while its survivability benefits from the integration of relict explosive reactive armor, as well as isolation of munitions from the remainder of the vehicle internally. Like all Russian tanks, its ability to use explosive fragmentation projectiles provides an important advantage in infantry support roles, which has been the primary role for which tanks have been used by both sides in the conflict. Very limited procurement of the T-90M preceding the escalation of hostilities in Ukraine in 2022, largely due to cost-saving measures, meant that the T-90M played only a limited role in hostilities in the war's first 2 years, with Soviet-built tanks being relied on far more heavily. Acquisitions of newly built T-90M tanks have been supplemented by deliveries of upgraded variants of older tank models, including enhanced T-72s, such as the T-72B3M. High levels of attrition to the Russian T-72 fleet in 2022 in particular have reportedly increasingly depleted Russia's vast reserves of Soviet-built T-72s in storage, with tank production today at just a small fraction of Soviet-era levels, meaning that replenishment of these will remain unlikely. Russia's tank industry has reportedly succeeded in raising output from the approximately 130 tanks produced annually before 2022 to over 200 tanks annually today, and according to some estimates, significantly more. This nevertheless pales in comparison to Soviet production of over 4,000 tanks annually in the 1980s, thousands of which were more complex T-80 tanks that were significantly more costly to produce than the T-72 or T-90. In parallel to T-90 production, Russian industry is working to re-establish production of the T-80 and to bring the much-delayed T-14 next-generation main battle tank into service, with the latter intended to be produced at Uralvagonzavod alongside the T-90M,